So for this video, I will be going into how to set up the cybersecurity course. But before I go into that, I know some of you had some issues with setting up your Parrot OS. So two issues came up, have come up so far. So I'm going to go over those two. The first is encountering this error. This kernel requires an x86 64 CPU but only detected an i686 CPU. So for this particular fix, you just have to be careful. So when you go to create new and let's say Parrot OS, the type Linux, just make sure you actually select other Linux 64-bit. Now, you don't see 64-bit over here, and actually that's the next error that I want to, or should I say the problem that you guys encountered that I want to address. It doesn't say 64-bit, but it's supposed to say 64. You're supposed to have an option for 64-bit, and make sure you select that. That will help you to not get this error. I think with one particular person that I was helping out, they mistakenly chose 32-bit instead. Okay, so just make sure you select the 64-bit. Now, in regards to the other one, this is actually I googled this and I think it was really helpful. With this, you have to actually restart your PC, go into the BIOS, and make sure you enable. So, for example, for Intel, make sure you enable VTX or Intel Virtualization Technology. And if you enable this, start your computer over again, then you should be good. You should have 64-bit enabled. If you have AMD, you're looking for secure virtual machine, and you want to enable that. I'm using a virtual machine, so I don't have that. And yes, so I'm using a virtual machine. It might be possible to be able to enable it over here, but not something that I have on this video for now. But again, just make sure you do that to your PC. This is actually a virtual within a virtual. Let me put it that way. All right. So to set up our cybersecurity course, first we want to go to MOOC. All right, so I know you guys already created an account, so just make sure you log in. And this is about the course. So on this page, the about the series. Read about this to get more information about the course. There's course descriptions and timetable. The other courses associated with this: Intro to Cybersecurity 1. This is the one that we will be doing. There's also Securing Software, Course Project 2, Advanced Topics, Course Project 2, and Capture the Flag. All right. This page, how to start and pass a course. Everything that you need to find out is, I believe, should be here. And installing Python and TMC. TMC basically means test my code, and right here. We will be going through this together. Now, the very first thing is installing TMC, and you want to click on this link over here. I already did this, and it takes you to a GitHub page. Scroll to the bottom, and you should see, oh, I think I've already passed it. Oh, there we go. Installation using the install script, Linux or OS X only, referring to Mac users. And you are going to use curl. You can easily just copy and paste this. Now let's open the terminal and paste. Okay, and it's done. Installation is complete. It's installed. You can try running it with TMC in a new terminal. So I believe that is it for this. Going back to the previous page we're on, now we need to, it gives other information if you detest command line usage, because in this situation we're just going to be using command lines. But if that's not something you want, you can follow the Visual Studio plugin for TMC client, which it's not going to be part of this video. And if it's something that you guys want to look into, sure, I can make another video for that. Now let's move on to installing Python 3. We can see, or we can find out the Python version that we have. So Python 3. All right, so we have Python 3.9.2. So we don't have to install Python. We're pretty much good. So we're going to go on to install additional packages. Again, with this one, you can just copy paste. All right, so it says requirement already satisfied for Django, Selenium, Beautiful Soup 4, interesting name, request, and SoupSieve. So everything is good. So move on to the next one. Now in this next step, we're going to be installing Chrome driver and Chrome. So for this next step, just click on the link, Google download Chrome. All right, so we have the 64. You want to do the 64-bit Debian or Deb. Once that's done installing, you want to go to the bottom left to your menu or wherever because you could change where you want to put your menu. And we want to search for gdeb, all right, GW package installer. Just go to where you downloaded your Google Chrome installer. Okay, installation is done. Now I am using a virtual machine, so sometimes it's a little bit slow. Okay, we are done. And in the Java video, I did say that sometimes what happens after installing an application and you try to find it here, it does not pop up. just restarting it or something of that sort, and it pops up. I'm not sure why. And for those of you who followed me in the Java programming video, as you can see, I now have TMC beans. All right. Now to access our Google Chrome, you could just type it in the terminal. No, I don't want it as my default browser. Okay. Okay, and we have our Google Chrome installed. So that's the very first one. Now the next one is a Chrome driver, a software that allows Python to communicate with the browser that we just downloaded. And it goes on to talk about, when installing Chrome driver, you need to make sure that the driver version matches the browser version. So let me right click on that. So let's see. All right, so blah, 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 move to, this is our current site. Let's go there. All right, so there's the latest beta release is 95, and then there's 94. Now, we need to download the right one that matches with our browser. Now, in order to do that, let me see if I can actually, no. Let me open another terminal. And let's type in Google Chrome version. And as you can see, we have 94.0.4606.81. Let's go back. And this would be the best Chrome driver for the browser that we have. So we're going to be downloading this one. And of course, we need the Linux 64. Okay, so we're done with this part. Right, so the next part says you also need to make sure that both Chrome and the Chrome driver can be reached via path environment variable. That is, you should be able to blah, 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 and then it goes on. No problem, I will go through that. Okay, so first thing is we want to know the path of Google Chrome. Where is and as you can see right there. Now recall that we downloaded Chrome driver, so we're going to go on ahead and just install that, and then create the path and everything for that. So depending on where you downloaded your Chrome driver, I downloaded it in my downloads folder. All right, so I'm going to cd, or should I say ls, and I have a display of all my folders. Right, so cd downloads, and you can complete this by hitting tab. It just basically completes it for you. All right, ls, and as you can see, we have Chrome driver Linux 64.zip. Now the next step is to unzip this. And I just hit tab to complete it. All right, and it's unzipped. We're good to go. The next is to make, all right, well, ls, let's look at the new file. As you can see right there, Chrome driver. The next step is to make this file executable, and that's chmod Chrome driver. All right, now we're going to move this file to our user. Well, we're going to move it to a new folder. Let's put it that way. And just checking to see everything's right. Now let's just make sure that we actually did this right. So let's cd into that folder. ls, and as you can see, we have our Chrome driver there. Okay. Make sure everything is right. And just hit up. If you hit the up button, it just goes to the previous command that you typed. Okay, I think that ends it all. Let's check the version of Chrome driver. Okay, all right, and we are all set up. All right, so the next step is to do a sanity check. To test the installed packages, download the script and test it with Python. So let's download this. All right, and I put it in my downloads folder. And as you can see, that's the sanity.py. It's a Python file. So we're going to use Python 3 sanity.py. Okay. All right. So blah blah blah. Pi 19 deprecation warning. Port has been deprecated. Please pass in a service object. And we have a good so far. All right. So let's just clear everything. All right. So the next step is to download your exercises, and we want to do TMC login. Now, once you log in and hit enter, it's going to give you this option. It says choose an organization by writing its slug. So for us, we will be selecting MOOC. Now I'm good with that. Okay, sweet. All right, so the next is to download our MOOC Security Software 21. So TMC download. Do the same for the cyber advanced topics. Okay, and we are all set. And that basically ends setting up Cybersecurity 2021 for this club. There's some frequently asked questions. If you want to visit there, that's fine. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.